Hello everyone. As like you know that we are in the year of 2026 and the 1 month has already been finished and that's the month of January. Now we are in the month of February and in the stock market we have already seen too much volatility in the around the globe. There are too much tension from geopolitical to a political level and to the market and macroeconomic levels from all of the things. Now let's understand in this 2026 all of these scenario. Mr. Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla, man has announced in the last year 2025 to launch an IPO of its company SpaceX in 2026. So what do you think that 2026 about the IPO years? Because in this year many companies are going to launch their IPOs. So let's understand. Well, before going to invest in the SpaceX IPO, you should have to understand that too many things regarding to your investment strategy. But which type of investor you are? As like you buy to the on an IPO and in a lot and hold it for many years for a dividend and capital appreciation, or you are a day trader who just buy to an IPO and due to the demand and supply and all other things and all other things and price shoot up at just 10 to 20% after to listed on the stock exchange, and you sell all your lots and get to the profit and get out of that trade and any other strategy which you use during to the IPO. So let's understand before entering into the SpaceX IPO. Well, what's the actually SpaceX is? SpaceX, or Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, is a US based private aerospace company which is founded by Tesla CEO Elon Musk in 2002, which develops and operates launch systems, satellite networks, and next generation spacecraft which are designed for Earth orbit transport, lunar missions, and future deep space activity. Alongside all these launch services, it also runs Starlink company, which is a global low Earth orbit satellite network which provide broadband access in more than 150 countries. In the year of 2025, SpaceX launched its Falcon 9 rocket more than 160 times, which and more than half of all our orbital launches. The main thing is Starlink SpaceX IPO is that it's going to be a huge IPO and getting to the large public amount for the company after this Saudi Arabian oil company Aramco, which they bought in their IPO in 2019. According to the reports, if we understand the amount they are SpaceX going to get with the help of IPO, then if we understand to the SpaceX valuation in the private market, then it's a nearly 800 USD billion dollars. Then after the IPO launch, maybe this company can go up to a 1 trillion USD dollars, which is going to be a trillionaire company just after the launch of an IPO. But to understand that before investing into the IPO, how does it? It means the company will become an trillionaire, but as a long-term investor or a short-term, medium-term investor for a year or 2 year or 3 to 5 years, does SpaceX will give you a revenue? Just understand that how SpaceX earn their revenue. It means what are their earning sources to run to their company. Well, they have different revenue streams as like launch services free from commercial clients called NASA and defense agencies to launch their satellites, cargo and crew using Falcon rockets. Starlink subscriptions, which brings monthly broadband charges from residential, enterprise, maritime and aviation users all over the worldwide. Government contracts, which are long-term funding and mission payments through US and international space programs. Satellite deployment, which are called paid launches for operators placing satellites into orbit. Emerging initiatives are like development of new services such as direct-to-cell communications, starship-based transport, and concepts for orbital data centers. All these are their revenues to run their company and generate to the profit. Well, before going to that, if SpaceX fully succeeded to launch their IPO and the amount they wanted to raise in the billions, and after that successfully launched IPO, the SpaceX will become a trillionaire dollars company. But let's go with further that understand who launched earlier that much amount of IPO before the SpaceX in the form of an descending order. First was Saudi Aramco. who raised $25.6 billion USD. Second one is Alibaba Group, which was $21.7 billion. Third one is SoftBank Corporation, $21.3 billion. Fourth one is Entity Mobile, 18.1 USD billion dollars. Fifth one is Visa, who raised 17.86 billion USD dollars, and sixth is AIE, 17.78 billion USD dollars, and seven is Anal SPA, 16.45 billion USD dollars. Eighth is Facebook, 16.45 billion USD dollars. General Motors, 16.01 USD billion dollars, and ICBC Bank, who raised 15.77 billion USD dollars. SpaceX is going to raise nearly a USD $30 billion amount with their IPO, which is going to be launched in 2026. Well, not even in the 2026, SpaceX IPO is coming, and many other companies IPOs are also in the way to launch in the secondary market. Let's understand those. Let's know about those companies. First one is Minimax, a Chinese AI startup. Second is Z.ai, Zio AI, which is going to target at the Hong Kong Stock Exchange in maybe in Jan 2026. Anthropic, it's a popular cloud AI model. Next one is OpenAI, 2026, but in the late of 2026. And next is Databricks, Bitpanda, Racing, Helsing, Quantum Systems, Celonis, Get Your Ride, Mobile.de, SumUp, KNDS, Kraken, Concise, Revolut, Monzo, Starlink Bank, Visma, Stripe, Bolt, Canva, Dataiku, Discord. All these companies are going to launch their IPO in 2026. Three companies main IPO which we should have to know, and those are SpaceX, OpenAI, and Anthropic. Well, SpaceX currently private market valuation is nearly $800 billion USD. OpenAI are 500 billion USD dollars, and Anthropic is 350 billion USD dollars. Let's see how well the SpaceX IPO will perform in the at the time of launch, whenever it will launch in 2026, and all other companies IPO who will be launched in different listed in different stock exchanges from Hong Kong to Europe to. Let's wait for the time and know that how they will perform in the future. Thank you.